Hello, hello, lovely people. Welcome to episode number 34 of the Devrel Show. Always a pleasure to be here, mostly every other weeks. And today it's no different. And I have my cat Tails, who seems to like to join or just go. I don't know if he wants to stay with us or not for the show. But yeah, welcome to the Devrel Show. Always a pleasure to be here, and I really need to fix the countdown music. It's really loud compared to like when we start talking. Sorry, Shawn, I did not warn you. I took a note every beginning of the show to like, yeah, I need to do that. Always forget. So it's been like that for like a year and a half. But anyway, so Shawn, thanks for being on the show. Thanks for being one of the guests of the Devrel Show. How is life?
It's going really well, man. DevRel, it's always something new every day. So the recent new thing I've been doing is doing a lot more live streams. After like 3 months, I was able to finally get to the point where, yes, it is in fact time. We should do some live streams. Videos, documentation. I could go on and on. 3 months down the line, we finally got to the point where, yes, we should do some more live streams, some partnerships. So the DevRel show came right at the right time, because if it was a month ago, I would have had to decline. So I appreciate it after getting the YouTube series out and trying to get more on live streams. Now we're happily doing a little bit more in that. So love to talk more about what DevRel people are doing, but it's always something new. So today,
It is. It is. So, yeah, no, good timing for the Devrel show because I think we scheduled that episode like 7 months ago. So, timing was perfect. This is the thing, I'm learning with the Devrel show. It's quite popular in the sides of like the guest side. Like people want to be in the show, and I'm the kind of person who can put something in my calendar like a year in advance. And actually, I prefer that because I know, like, oh, if there's something local, no traveling. If there's something online, no meetings, and I like that. But most people are not like that. So that's going to be the last year when I scheduled those so in advance because people change jobs in betweens or have like crazy time of the year when like they thought they were going to be okay, but they're not. And so, what I'm going to do after all the shows that are scheduled for this year, I'm going to plan the show maybe a month or two in advance. So, like, just enough for me to be sure that like everything is in place, but not too long. So we can have situation like that. Like if our episode would have been like 2-3 weeks before, you would have declined it, which is fine. I have people on the wait list, but at the same time, it's nicer when things are scheduled.
Exactly. I liked that because it was able for me to plan. Like I knew it was coming up. I was able to plan everything around it. It was awesome. And I'm realizing when I start these live streams, I can instantly see I don't even have any of my lights on, and I look so.
No worries at all. We were talking just before the show. My background is really bad for live stream for the last year. I bought a new house a year ago. Didn't do a paint job yet. That orange wall will go at some point, but I have nothing on the like my office is not set up. Like just my equipment, but like I need to move my desk, have a better background because that background is not
That's
good.
the thing about DevRel. Like I have so much good equipment. I have 2 monitors sitting right behind me, off. One's flipped up. I have a bloom light, green screen over there. Like lots of equipment. Oh, HD camera I'm not using. I'm using the laptop camera. There's so many things that have to be dialed in to make this live stream, the OBS setup, not even to talk about the software and the demos. So like shout out to all the DevRel people who make it happen and make it look seamless because you don't know how much I was scrapping back there with the green screen just for it to not work. We'll hopefully get it done later today in some of the
True that. So we have some people watching us. Chris, my man, what's good? Life is good, Chris, because you know what? We both have jobs now. Chris and I were unemployed for a couple of months, unfortunately. And right now, I need to tell you, friends, if you have a job, even if you're not totally excited about the job, keep it because the market, like I've been working in tech for more than 20 years now. There is always up and downs. not like it is right now. Like not like it is right now. So be happy with the jobs you have, because it's not a good time to be unemployed and looking for new jobs. We've been lucky, quote unquote lucky. I mean, we have experience. I think we're good at selling yourself. And sorry, Chris, I'm talking about I'm including you in that, because I think we have the same kind of personality, the same kind of experience, and it was still not that easy to land an amazing job, something that we are both excited about, but we did it. So what's good, that's good. I'm starting my new job actually next week, so quite excited about that. But that's the cool stuff. And we have Anuj. Thanks for joining us. Hi, my friend. I hope life is good for you too. So, Shawn, who are you? Tell us a little more about yourself.
Boom. I'll tell you more by adding on to the conversation we're already having. I always tell people, shout out to devrel being a very small knit community, because I haven't been here long. I don't have 10 to 20 years. And yet I didn't have much problem getting another role. I was laid off maybe in March, January, February, March. Yeah. Had another role in April. There was so many people, so many roles in devrel, and I understand it's my market. I happen to be in the Bay Area. Shout out to being an AI devrel engineer in the Bay Area. I get it. But I also tell people that a lot of that came from my network.
Mhm.
And that brings me to who I am. Shout out to in a past life being a nuclear engineer. I was hoping to go to school, work in a nuclear reactor, cold fusion, save the world, all that good jazz. And I eventually not only ran past my physics classes, but saw what they were going to pay me right out of college to work in some of these labs. And I will tell you, I was unhappy. So I made a pivot. I saw my friends in computer science about to make 6 figures straight out of college. I saw people in my business classes going in and at least making decent money. And then I saw me making intern money with my very, like, it didn't make sense. And I made a pivot. I ended up managing escape rooms. I don't know if y'all know what that is. Team building events. They lock you in a room, puzzles. Hopefully you get out.
Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully. If you have a good, manager like me, they'll definitely help you out. But that was a lot. Eventually, I found out a lot of that business was the website. Realize I'm selling you on something that you can't see, and I can't even tell you about it. Just trust me, bro. It's an awesome experience. Give me $300 and you and your family will have a good time. And that's all marketing. That's all that website, like reviews, like online presence, branding. It's all marketing. And lots of people sell themselves before they even get there. They're already excited. That website is doing a lot of work. Give me 1 second.
No worry. That's
Deciding
the joy. That's the joy of going live. Someone is ringing at the door.
literally 30 seconds.
No worries. But our comment that Shawn said that like he found a job pretty quickly. Chris said like, "Damn son, you got lucky as hell," and it's true. I mean, like part of it is like yes, luck because it went fast. But as Shawn said, like there's this network, but there's a lot of things. I'm going to talk about this because I have a lot of things to say while Shawn is answering his door. But basically, a couple of things that are difficult right now compared to everything I've seen before is like, yes, the economy. The economy right now is not good. All the layoffs. So we're basically competing against each other to find a new job, which was not easy. I mean, like I can say, or for Chris, I've seen him comment on jobs where I was like, yeah, he said he applied, but I also applied. So we're basically competing against each other, like a small number of people trying to get all the same jobs. And for Chris and I, like we both wanted remote role, which was difficult because there's like a big culture shift where people there's a lot of like return to the office or hybrid, or even when the role is remote, sometimes they still want you in the specific city, even if you don't need to go to the office. So when I told you it took me about 4 months to find the perfect role for me, though. I mean, like, I was not looking for any role either. Like, I did not accept a role because I needed a job. It was like, yeah, I needed to find the perfect role for me that makes sense, something that I could be excited, where I can see like a long-term opportunity for me to stay and grow in that place. But it still took me a couple of times. And I'm not saying I'm better than other people, but I'm doing this for a long time. I think I'm good at what I'm doing. I have great experience, and it was not easy. It's not an easy market right now. So good for you, Shawn.
I just want to keep in mind what you said, the perfect role. I need y'all to understand that that's not normal. There aren't people talking about the perfect role when they're talking about getting a job. That's what I want people to keep in mind. It took you 4 months to get the perfect role. Maybe if you just got a role, it would have been less than 4 months. That's what I try to tell people. I understand perfection. We have the privilege to take the time, 4 months, to get the perfect role. I'm telling people, if you could have, like,
Yeah, true.
hands down, Fred working on just a role, period, getting one lead, I guarantee you wouldn't have taken him 4 months. That's my point, is that if you're telling me the market is super hard to catch a fish, I'm telling you it's not. But if you want the perfect white tiger shark back there that Frederick is going for, yeah, it'll take you 4 months. You might have to plan it. You might have to do some research behind it. But I'm saying 10 to 20 years? Like, I'm saying you have that background. I'm sure, like, at least in where I am, there's a whole bunch of people trying to catch some fish right now. There are people looking for people like you. So that's why I tell people, hey, if you do have the skills, and like Frederick, you can actually talk about these skills, like, I assure you, the market isn't as cruel as everyone is saying. The problem is it takes a long time to get to that point. It takes so long to be as skilled as Frederick and be able to speak at it, have the network. It takes years. Most people aren't going to have it. It's not going to be easy for most people. That's life. This isn't like, we're not asking for the regular. Fred is asking for perfect, the best job for him.
Yeah, quote unquote. I hope my new employer is not listening right now. I mean, like, I don't believe in the perfect role, because like there are so many variables, and like I had a great time interviewing, and I expect I'm gonna work well with those people, and it's gonna be amazing. But I've only done a couple of interviews, so we will know only when I'm gonna work there after like a week or two.
I just like to put that framing, because there are people like listening who aren't 10 to 20 years, or like, I'm not 10 to 20 years, or don't have the network and the time under the saddle to, yeah, I could get another role. I understand that's not the same for everyone. And I take that as a privilege, because some people can't find the perfect role, even if they took the year. Like, they wouldn't have gotten that role. And there's a reason for it. It's not just, oh, the market's hard. No, it's because Frederick is doing something different, that he has some more experience. Maybe he has more network. I'm always worried about people worried about the perfect role when you weren't getting the perfect role because you didn't have the experience, because you didn't take that other role that Frederick took a decade ago or 20 years ago, when he wasn't looking for the perfect role. He was just looking for anything. That's
I agree, but I want to be careful, because I know people that are looking for just a job and not like the quote unquote perfect role, and they're still struggling. Like, they've been months and they have experience either. So there's also a lot of factor right now that I tell you. I mean, I've been in tech for 23 years now. I've seen up and down. I've never seen a down like right now. And there is a lot of things. I was saying when you were away, I was talking about like the economy is not going well. AI is a reality. Like, there's a lot of roles that are being cut. Return to the office is difficult. And some people don't pay. Like Chris had a lot of comment, but first, this one is not basically about what we're saying right now, but just before, it was a little bit hard to battle against friends for the same role.
Just hear me out. That's a mentality thing. When me and my friends are in the same role, we are sharing notes. Like I am getting tips on the next interview from from my friend who is one interview style in front of me. Why wouldn't you talk to your friends about the interview you just had? Like you realize it's free, you can do that. I can tell you about the last interview I had. It's not against the law. Why wouldn't you tell your friends what just happened in the interview? Think about that. I didn't sign any NDA. I could tell you exactly how this interview went.
Yeah, no, it's true. I don't think that's the point. I don't want to talk for Chris, but I don't think the point.
I just wanted people to know that I feel like, yes, it is hard, but it was always hard. Like, understand, I don't know about how it was for y'all. It was hard. It was always hard. I get it's harder, but I hate from the gallery of people who can get the perfect role telling other people, it was so hard. Yeah, but you threw away 15 other opportunities telling everybody it took 4-5 months, but hey, you were looking for perfect role. I get it, but I always am scared for the people who hear that message and then they don't start the 4 to 5 months that it takes to get perfect role.
Yeah, I should not have used that word because it's not exactly that.
It's not
and you're really sticking on the perfect side of things. And like I was looking for a role. I was looking for a role that like had respect a little bit for my experience. I was looking for a role that did not pay me shit. But like
the second you start adding, I was looking for a role, that you're adding the privilege part, because I just needed anything. I was gonna take anything. If they were gonna pay me, I was going to sign up. If it wasn't a scam, they weren't taking, and they were going to pay me, and I was gonna have that title. Like I needed something. I was going to either have to go back to my old job. I burned all the bridges. I'm going forward. Like understand there are people who this is the only option. We are going forward. There's no more looking back. There's no more it's hard. I already signed up. We're already going. Let's go.
Like, yeah, I know. It's why I said like it's not based. My comment was not based only in my experience. It's like it's a lot of people that are looking for a month and that would accept like any role and still looking for them. But anyway, that show is not about looking for a job. I really want to talk more about your work experience.
What did you do? Because my next step was I had friends. Like I was never gonna make it out as fast as I made it out if I didn't have a friend who did the thing, saw the opportunity and handed me the opportunity, sent me the link, and I still ignored it. Like I told her, that might be a scam. It sounds like they're trying to take, didn't sign up. She's doing amazing, double my salary in devrel. Shout out to her. But understand there are opportunities. There are literal opportunities not only being taken by people, but could have been your opportunity. I hate when people are getting jobs every single day. People say, but it's amazingly difficult. Yes, it's difficult, but people get jobs every day. Why can't it be you? Like, that's the energy I come with. Like, there's no necessarily, yes, there's huge barriers, but like me, I'm going to continue and going, and I hope I find some friends that make it so I could go further than I could go by myself. Because I wouldn't be here if that friend didn't send me the link. I ignored it, and then I saw her do amazing things. Like, that's not like, I wouldn't be here. We wouldn't be on the show. I might not have been a software engineer. I understand that that's sometimes the thing you need, but you need to be out there to get that opportunity. She saw me making the websites, so she sent me the opportunity. Like, you can't like be in a situation where people see you not doing the thing. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you're out there right now and it's looking dark, I'm telling you, keep going. It's darkest before dawn. Please. Like, there are opportunities. People are getting them. Like, there are ways to get them. It's not random. It's not random that Frederick gets the job. It's not random that I get the job. Like, please, if you're struggling, find out what people are doing. Because I found out people had a network. People had people who had opportunities. That's how I got it. I ended up at Resilient Coders, a wonderful boot camp that pays you to learn how to code. The second I heard that, I thought it was a scam. She sent it to me. How is that possible? Government funds, what have you. It's not a scam. I signed up, got to the end.
Good for
Wonderful
you.
job. But hear me out. I always say there were lots of people like me in that situation, didn't take the opportunity. They're not here. Like I always say, there are opportunities out there every day. It is hard to get one. Make sure you're out there getting one, because every single second, we're not trying, and that's how it
No,
is.
of course, of course. But
Must.
let's change topic because it's those are great advices. But like, let's move to devrel now.
After I got to Resilient Coders, I ended up at Audible. I was a machine learning engineer at Audible. Loved it. Loved working at enterprise enterprise data. I love seeing my name function ran 100,000, a million times. Loved that feeling. And loved it so much, I ended up being a brand ambassador for Audible. Ended up speaking at conferences, working with the devrel team. And then I found out I was volunteering my time on the weekend, and they were getting paid on the weekend to be here. And I was like, how do I make that transition? And eventually, about a year of me like actually building in public, like, oh, I put this, oh, you're putting these things out. You wrote a blog post about that conference. Okay, how what platform do I use that? Like literally asking people, like, what do I do to make that transition step by step? And eventually, a year down, I'm a developer advocate at several companies. But really, that transition was not easy. The transition to software engineer, transition to devrel, none of the transitions were easy. I always
But
tell.
you were doing the job. Like I've talked to so many people doing devrel, and that's my story too. I was already doing the devrel job on my free time. I was just not being paid for it. It was just like a passion for me to do public speaking, to write blog posts and stuff like that. But I'm curious, Shawn. You changed title recently, like with the new job. You went from senior developer advocate to, let me read to be sure, developer experience lead in AI. So. Do you still consider yourself devrel? I mean, like it's kind of like around the road. So what are you doing right now? What's
I mean, developer experience is the same as developer relations. If you think otherwise, it's completely fine. Semantics to me. But my relationship to you is the same as my experience with you. I don't know how you're going to define that any other way. If you punch me in the face, our relationship changed because the experience just changed. So like in my head, the developer experience and developer relations, the same thing. So the title is just for the specific industries and markets that I'm rolling in. But still senior developer advocate, still developer relations. I think it's all under developer experience because that's the only thing we care about. What experiences are developers having when they use our product, when they're in our communities, when they talk to or interact in any way with our product, our brand. So
no, I agree. I like to ask those questions when people have different titles, just so people that do not know, like if there's a difference, like it helps everybody understand.
For those in devrel, I'm telling you, apply to all of those alternate titles. Like I did not like I wasn't like, oh, developer experience lead. No, that was the title that they like. This was here. I'm developer advocate. I like what that means to my industry. But I always say, call me what you want, just don't call me for free. Like we make sure that is the perfect role for you, not necessarily perfect title. I don't do about perfect role for me. So I love the product. I love the community. I also like working on developer experience, whether you're using the API or you're actually in our community at one of the live streams. I think that's super important. Me being a developer and an engineer, I know a lot of my time is spent not talking to people, not being in communities. I'm in that documentation. I am on those pages. I'm trying to figure out stuff. So that experience is usually all of the relationship a developer might have with your product. I might not talk to anybody on the Stripe team. I might not ever go to a Stripe event, but I happen to know sometimes Stripe can be a little finicky. Shout out to just the Stripe links. They save me all the time. But things like that definitely helps in DevRels.
Sounds good. Hey, we have Nick joining us. Hi, Nick. Thanks for joining us. And Anthony, woo, let's go. This is what we do. We go. This is exactly what we do. So yeah, awesome. I'm curious. So you started a new role 3 months ago. Can you talk to us a little more about your employer, Thesys, or did I say the name correctly? How do you say it?
Thesys. Yeah, can you hear me?
Okay, yeah, sounds good. Awesome. So yeah, what's the like the company is doing? What's the product or service?
We are a generative UI company. So what does that mean? It means all of the wonderful LLMs, all the text generation, all ChatGPT, you're going to get lots and lots and lots of text. And that's great. If you're like me, an engineer who gets paid to parse text, I get paid to read. I'll read all day. But my parents, special ed teacher and construction worker, dad, they don't get paid to read. Like they're not just going to read all the text on this page just for funsies. I do that because it takes me literally milliseconds, literally a couple seconds, and I already did it. But that's not even something that most people would use their energy to do because it takes a lot more time. So hear me out. The internet isn't a bunch of text because they realize that the developer experience, the CLI, the terminal, just text, not fun for most people. I know you developers, it's not fun. Most people don't like that. Matter of fact, most people are scared when they see lots of text. Do you get that? People are scared when they see lots of text.
I believe that.
Yeah. So my question is, can you make this LLM more friendly to the rest of the world? The way we've made the internet friendly is we made this thing called UI. We made buttons. We made it look friendly, rounded corners. We made it accessible. And that's what wonderful C1 by Thesys, a generative UI API. So instead of doing 5 paragraphs, it would have gave you 5 paragraphs and then said, hey, maybe we give it a different UI. That would look ugly in just 1 paragraph tag. Like, maybe we give them some charts. That one looks like an image tag. Maybe we give it an image tag. And now you can see the image. Maybe we give it some UI so people can interact with this data. Like that is how we interact with interfaces. That's how we interact with data, with UI. So why would we ever have an AI just spit out text? This is not a book. We need UI for our wonderful AI. That's where generative UI comes in. It's literally a layer on top of any, any text generation, and it'll say, hey, what UI should have went in there? Or you could give it a system prompt and say, hey, only give me charts. If you get text, hey, try to figure out a way to give me a chart. Like, oh, I'm gonna give it like a list of links. I already know I want a Google interface. I want the icon there. I want subheaders over here, and then I want the source link right there. That's UI. You're asking for specific UI components, and if you ask for that, it would give you the Google homepage in the chat. And here's the next part. It's great that we have chat. Great. But my dad doesn't want to chat. He doesn't want to type in to the chat. Like he's not going to type into the chat. Matter of fact, I have a demo showing you where he doesn't type into the chat. But because C1 by Thesys has forms, buttons, he actually uses the interface. He actually goes in, he buys a drill. He does the thing. Because you gave him buttons, you helped him out. Like if he doesn't have the buttons, he's just going to call Home Depot. He's just going to call Lowe's and ask them for the thing. But if you had given him the buttons,
it's more friendly.
He would have gotten through. So gonna show you a demo of it.
Yeah.
But I always say, please don't just watch the demo. Go try it out yourself. I hate when I told my dad I use ChatGPT to write all of my emails. He immediately thought ChatGPT was useless because he writes no emails. I need you.
Yeah, it's a one-to-one.
Yeah, you need to go see your own use cases. Like, go check it out yourself because I'm going to type things in here. Me and Fred are going to have a good time. You're going to realize none of the things that you would have typed in are going to get typed in. Like, the way I use AI isn't the way you're going to use AI. And I need people to go use the products. They're free. And then tell us how you did it. Like, tell us what happened. Give the user feedback. You'll get better products. You'll find
Yes.
out more about AI. You'll even be a better devrel. Y'all don't know how many times I took 15 seconds to use a product, took 15 minutes to write a blog post, and now the CEO is messaging me for that interview. Like, too many people don't, see the corollary between you using new products and you specifically having a large community and network in devrel. You're not using any other products, so why would anybody ever have any interactions with you if they're not using your product? All right, so that's what Thesys does, hopefully making all AI more accessible with UI.
I like that. So I guess it's time for you to show us now that you talked about it. We are a visual creature, so we need to see it in action.
Yep.
And while you start your screen, I have a Discord link. So once you see the demo and you're like, you have more questions that you didn't ask during the show, or people watching the recording, join the Thesys Discord, and hopefully Shawn is there. I'm pretty sure he's there. It's going to be able to answer your questions or any concerns you have about it.
And would you be able to put up the link to the demo so they could just try it while I'm talking?
Yeah.
It's chat.thesis.dev if you don't already have it.
All right, chat. This is the dev.
Perfect.
Oh, let me share that. Awesome. And let me know once you're ready. I'm going to share your screen.
Perfect. I should be ready. I'm going to be super quick. Yeah, feel free to hop over. I'm already sharing ChatGPT.
Awesome.
All right, so you're used to this. Hopefully everybody here is used to this. If you're not used to this, please go check out ChatGPT. I don't know why you're still here and not checking out AI, please. But I would love to know, like, what are you using ChatGPT for, Fred? What was like the last thing you put into any AI? What were you doing?
The last thing was non-tech related. I bought a house a year ago, and I have a lot of flowers and plants that I on my yard that I just don't know what they are. And instead of like just submitting this to Google and like have like some kind of like maybe that is that plant, I just like ask ChatGPT like, hey, share a picture and like please tell me what that is.
Okay, so you were putting in the picture and trying to get it to analyze what's in.
This is the last thing I've used, but I've used it to generate image also. I was starting a series of like, what would it be to find a job as a plumber? If
I'm gonna start with the
let's do that.
We're gonna start with the flowers. I didn't put in your yard because then I would have to upload this.
I appreciate that.
I was like, I could go and find images of it and do that. And I do love this. So ChatGPT gave me an actual like image carousel that could be usable if you click on it. It's just 4 images together. I love this because most of the time it doesn't
just text.
Yeah, it's just text. So it's getting to the point where it is at least giving us images. It does give us images, but you'll know everything else. Everything else. They finally got the note that we actually wanted sources. So 5 years later, they've gotten us sources. But do realize these aren't necessarily things like I couldn't have like made them give me the sources in any other way. I couldn't have decided that this is great, but you asked me at the end, let me know if you like tips on gardening specific. Maybe this could have been a CTA button, you know, realize all of this. My dad is not reading all of that. Why did it just disappear?
Even me, like there's too much
Yeah,
text.
there's too much text.
I
There's
won't read all that.
going on. I was hoping for maybe a picture of California poppies, maybe a picture of some lavender, maybe just like 4 pictures.
Yeah.
But you kind of just like, this isn't even like, okay, anyway. It's very not what we were looking for. And it's not a good experience because I still don't know, like, I really don't know anything about these things.
Yep.
And so what if we could have like gave us the button? Like, what if we could have transformed this into maybe a CTA form? Maybe we could have made this a chart. Like maybe we could have made this the actual carousel with like the picture of the California poppies. Maybe we should have been a drop down.
Yeah,
I don't.
because right now you have the flowers, the picture of the flowers, but like I do not know flowers at all. I have no knowledge about flowers. So you show me pictures, but I don't know what is on the picture exactly.
Exactly. So what if we could have went from the text to an actual good chart, like actual usable stuff? That's where C1 by Thesys comes in. We can easily, let's show you the side by side. Can you tell me about flowers in my area in San Francisco? On the left, they're going to give you exactly what ChatGPT was giving you. On the right, you're
This
going
is
to
what
get
I wanted.
actual like usable buttons. You'll get drop downs so that you know what you want to interact with. And obviously they ask for a little thing like they do at Perplexity, giving you next queries. It just decided it wanted to do that. Lot more use. Would you like more specific information about any of these flowers? They're expecting a paragraph from my mom or dad. And I tell people my mom and dad are just never going to use this. In the demo, you will see them immediately just go over to the left and start interacting with this.
Yeah.
Because if you wanted to know more about hydrangea, you click on hydrangea and then it tells you
Oh,
more about hydrangea. Because all of the buttons, all of the charts, all of the things in here are actually usable, are actually real life. Like you could go back and say, hey, can you give me a form? Give me a form to know what plants to buy. Because I would prefer to, instead of being told this long list, I could have said, hey, I'm on the balcony. We actually don't get any sun. It's a medium, pet friendly. Find my perfect plants.
I like that because specifically in that case, if we go back, I don't know if it was the best example with my flowers, but I relate to that. And like, I have no knowledge. Seriously, I killed all the plants I had, so I do not know what I need to ask. Like obviously, I understand like okay, if there's suns or not, but like I don't know all the other question that I should answer to know what kind of plants that I should buy to put on my garden or whatsoever. And now you gave me some of the list of the things that like I should think about and I should answer to find my, as the button said, find my
Oh,
perfect plants.
hear me out. I didn't like code any of this. This wasn't like pre-demoed. We did this on the fly. Like, let's just get a form so that my dad doesn't have to type in anything. You could have put in a system prompt so that it always gives you a form at the beginning. You could have made it so that you don't even have to type in. It just automatically, with some context, maybe you have feed in some cookies. You could have automatically started with this form for Fred because you already knew he didn't know
Mhm.
his plants and he's going to need some help.
I like that. And
Like,
sorry, go ahead.
yeah, little things like that. But go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was going to how does that work part. So as a service, Tess, like what are you offering. Am I like paying Thesys like I would pay ChatGPT, and I have like a better interface with and I see Claude there. Like, can I choose an engine? Like, what's working behind? Or
Correct. You can, in fact, choose your own engine. So, like, for instance, let's go to you love live demos, and I can't remember where exactly. The arena.
Bolt.
All right. So in maybe a month or a couple weeks, this is our what we call the arena. So basically, people are able to go in, use their own prompts, check out what's going on, and basically grade which one they preferred. It's all anonymous. Apparently, Anthropic is killing it. Claude is like, we're gonna eventually, we're probably gonna keep this open for the Discord and Slack people, but theoretically, you'll have the ability to try out each one of them and see what generative UI model works best for each LLM. All right, so like, can you buy? Can you tell me about flowers in Arizona? And it'll show you on the left one LLM, and on the right, clearly with this LLM, it didn't get almost any UI. It's just a table. So for me personally, I would say the one on the left one, but maybe you preferred the one on the right. This is very subjective. That's why we have, everything up, and people are allowed to, vote as they please, and it's anonymous. I think Model A is better. It was 3.7 Sonnet by 2.5 Flash.
Yeah, okay, Flash. Yeah, because I was like, that's Gemini 2.5 was faster, but as you said, you had no UI component either in this one. So
yep. So it'll just show you. Eventually, you'll be able to pick and choose and all that good jazz. But things like that, so that we could figure out what type of reasoning models, what type of language works best if we're trying to get a user interface and a specific user experience.
Speaking of that, we have a question from Anthony. Are things like the form component pre-made? And if so, is it possible to see all the different bits of functionality C1 offers?
Yes, you can. So this is made off of Radix, if I'm not mistaken. Now what was I doing? Chat. Correct. So all of this is a Radix UI kit, React UI kit. You can, in fact, put in your own UI kits. We had I think there's some documentation in our, we have documentation on adding your own UI kits. So we aren't necessarily, I can't tell you that our designers aren't putting in work to make this specific one look good, but it is like the UI that is being generated by C1 is basically, I'm pretty sure, just template Radix. And at least what I know, don't quote me on that. Go check out.
Too late. It's on the internet.
Founders are in the Discord. Please talk to don't quote me. Don't say Shawn said this, and now I'm gonna be hearing about that in a couple hours in our stand-up.
So join check on the Discord. You can ask.
As long as you go in the Discord, you could say that. Feel free, say whatever. I would say at least they're in the Discord.
Awesome. And Nick was agreeing with you. He said, yeah, Model A was better. Nice feature doing A/B testing with the models. I like that too, because like as someone I don't consider myself having an expertise on AI. I mean, I know enough to use it, but like, can I really compare them objectively? Probably not. I don't have that knowledge. So being able to test it with different use cases, different prompt, it's pretty nice feature.
Yeah, and we realized that too. We didn't want just like, oh, we told you Anthropic 4.0 is the best. You should use that. We wanted it to be as as non-opinionated as we could get. It's open. Any one of our users can go in and play with the arena and put it in votes, and it's all anonymous. So we're going to keep track of that and eventually make it so that y'all can test your own and not vote. Just be able to test which ones you'd like.
Oh, nice.
All right. And continuing a little part of the demo until we get another question. So do realize we have a nice playground for the developers and people who want to build with it. You're able to put in system prompts. So like in the top, I'm putting give me a carousel with pictures for each card, and then give me as many charts as you can. Oh no, somebody asked, hey, can you see all of the functionality that C1 can offer?
Oh yeah.
Can you give me all of the functionality C1 can offer? Give me a tech. Because if I just stopped it there, it would have said, hey, C1 is proprietary. I can't give you information. But if you tell me, hey, give me a tech demo.
Oh, good.
Yeah, because I've run into that. Hey, show me what you could do. I can't show you. That is a secret. And then immediately, okay, here, can you give me a tech demo? All right. Yeah, of all components, because they're only going to do the ones that they think are interesting of all the components. All right. And give me them as ninja info, data, and stats. All right, so it's gonna hopefully give me a tech demo, and because I added in the prompt, I want ninja stuff. It's gonna hopefully add some ninja stuff to every single one of the components. So it'll show you the basically menu toggle. So like that's the first button, and it's going to make it a little bit more interesting because now I have to remember exactly what each of the components are because now they're not right names. So yeah, toggle buttons with primary and secondary buttons, as well as a table, as well as a list, an ordered list apparently, with like headings and subheadings. For the advanced teaks, a form with different types of input. It can give you all of the inputs. Feel free to play with that. An actual another table with that good jazz. Oh, because it didn't change from that. And then some ninja stats, a chart, wonderful. I don't even remember what this chart is called. Area chart? No, that's not.
I have no idea. I known what it is, but I cannot remember the name for. You know, it's a chart. It's a nice chart.
Yeah.
A spider web chart. No.
It has some other charts, but
Yeah.
obviously it ran out of context, so it stopped.
And then Nick was expecting either ninja stuff or be disappointed. I think you had your ninja stuff right now.
I mean, that was ninja stuff.
It is, and actually,
Shadow Clone, Rasengan.
with the Shadow Clone and Rasengan, I feel like I need to read Naruto again.
Like it's showing you ninjutsu, taijutsu, and genjutsu. Like it's giving you the stats on specifically power levels, because obviously we know taijutsu and genjutsu are weaker than ninjutsu. But anyway, it did the thing. If
I like
you're
that.
wondering, it did do the thing. And
that.
it can obviously do a little bit more. It can do different types of graphs. It can do a lot of different form integrations, a whole bunch of different button types and things like that. It's just it picked and chose what it decided to show you because it has a limited context. It didn't want to spend $50 of my dollars. But yeah, that's a wonderful thing. But mostly being able to lock down the UI, give me only charts.
And now you're showing us like the user side of thing. Like I'm using it because I need to ask question, I need result, I need information. But I
Correct.
assume like because you're part of like developer experience team, there is a developer side of it where like I could integrate that into my own product, let's say.
So hear me out. Yes, this is what an end user would look. But I always say, if you don't know what an end user would look like, how are you developing for them?
Mhm.
So like understand if you don't have a generative UI interface, it's really hard to then, oh, give me only charts in this generative UI interface. How are you making that user experience without already having this
Yeah.
interface that adapts? Like, how are you making an AI interface without ChatGPT, without the API? Like, you can't. Like, you can't make a generative UI interface without this. So I'm asking developers to go check it out. You have
Yeah.
to be able to dial in some of these things. Like maybe, to do perplexity, you want to make sure that it never gives you charts. It only gives you three header, link, source, what have you. You can really lock that down here. And now you're not, generating, you're not necessarily building out that interface like, oh, we're building out those three use points and then somehow in markdown streaming them. Like there's a whole, you can, in fact, there's lots of, shout out to our SDK, you can check it out. We do have open source stuff. There's lots of ways to today you can in fact remake ChatGPT. But in this day and age, there's so many people making millions of dollars on a ChatGPT wrapper. Why wouldn't you just go and build with the generative UI interface? Then rebuild your own infrastructure. Why? Like the same, like that's just my 2 cents. You
Yeah.
are going to be checking these out. There are some products already at the peak. Like I always tell people, you can in fact go make your own chat GPT, but most people aren't going to find the money in remaking their own chat GPT. The money was in Cursor. The money was in Bolt. Like realize it was a step away from ChatGPT.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping people realize that this is a step away from what we're looking for. Google's already working on it where they give me different UI than you get. They use some of the cookies to generate different UI. Maybe it's not generated. Maybe it's actually hard coded by a Google engineer. Shout out to them. But you've already seen in some of their conferences that they've been moving in this direction. Lots of enterprise companies are moving in this direction where we already have the design kits, you already have the UI made. Could you have made it so that on the fly the UI is generated by the AI for that specific user? That's the type of stuff that I always say might have saved, Facebook back in the day, because maybe I would have used it if there wasn't a billion buttons on the screen and I'm not going to press any of them. Like I only press 3 buttons when I come to this website. If maybe there was a UI or user experience where it just threw out all of the garbage and only gave me the buttons I press, maybe
Mhm.
I'd still be there. Maybe it'd be a nice interface for people, because lots of people said all I wanted to see were pictures of my friends. You had that data, and theoretically, with this interface, you could have just showed the people who wanted to see their friends, their friends.
Yeah,
Uh,
they could. We have a
you
question for Anuj. Said, what's the most underrated capability of C1 model for devs building? Good question. I like that.
Okay, so one of the most underrated are these damn forms. If y'all don't know how genius is a form, can you give me all the possibilities uh, that are wrong with my code in a form? So understand, because users do not know what they are looking for beforehand, having a form with the options so that you can go down the user interface and get the proper help is literally what we have learned from all of history. When you go into the hospital, what do? They give you a form. Like, do realize whenever you interact with any of these things, they give you a form to fill out so they know what you're here for and what they can help you with. In this day and age, we can in fact use cookies and things like that to grab the context and shovel it into this chat. So it can already know the context, already have this form filled out. But theoretically, I just had a breaking bug. Now, chat could have, you as chat does, as Cursor does, it gives you a confidently wrong answer. We all have done it. We all have seen it. But if you had looked at the list of possible issues that it would have looked at, the actual answer is usually in there. It's not like it like hallucinated all of it. Like, it just picked the wrong one. Hear me out. If you had a form in which a human in the loop could have decided what was the actual problem, instantly better user experience. Instantly, I do not have to think. I just go, and now it is trying its best to mimic what a UI for a server bug would look like. That's the second thing, is that because just like ChatGPT, this is a UI. So when ChatGPT just randomly gives you stories and it just randomly makes up hallucinations, our hallucinations are in fact UI. We do not make any of the context. Critical issues, performance issues, these were already things that was in that paragraph. Logic issues. It did not make up any of this. C1 by Thesys is we try our best to not pollute this.
Good.
It is just adding the images 75, 45, 50. Those came from the context and was not specifically generated by C1. So that's one of the things.
Sounds good.
It not only, mimics UI, but it ends up having this feeling of UX. People hate when I say that, but realize I had an experience that was not programmed by anyone, and no one else might have this experience. And that is made by having UI. Like, the UI is the experience. I'm hoping some people can get into generative UI and be able to, on the fly, generate a user experience for every user. All right.
Awesome. So, any last thing you would like to share with us, either about C1 or DevRel Live? Because I think we're reaching the end of the show now.
Perfect. The only thing, I think they had a QR code they wanted me to show. I can't remember. They did want me a cute. It's chat.thesis.dev. Check it out. I know some of y'all don't necessarily need me to put up the QR code. I was looking for it to see if I could quickly.
Yeah, chat will bring you chat.thesis.dev will bring you to demo.thesis.dev. So there we go.
Please just check that out. Let me see. Yeah, I can. It'll be fine. All right. Please do check it out. Sign up. We're giving free credits to any developers who sign up. It's like, I don't know, $10 or $50. It's actually a lot. We have that sign up specifically because we're giving like actual money out. So we need not bots to be here. That's why I came to awesome, small, awesome tailored communities like the DevRel Show, who I know y'all are using these products, checking them out, because we're actually in the industry. Like, I actually use the products. When I see new products, I actually use them because I need to know what's in the industry. If I can accurately advocate for developers, if I can actually tell my community what is a good product, what isn't a good product, how do you know if you don't use any of the products? Like, I'm telling people, if you haven't checked it out, like the space is moving so fast that there are new categories literally being made as we speak. So if you haven't already checked last week's news, generative UI, if y'all don't know, shout out to Vercel and their AI SDK, like literally a year or two ago, ushering in lots of generative UI use cases. But I'm hoping if y'all do check out the first generative UI API, Thesys, chat.thesis.dev. Do check it out. I'm only saying it because I want more people playing with it. I like being able to see what y'all come up with because I see every day, you know, every day there's going to be a person who uses this in a way that I didn't see fit. And I try not to like impose our use case. That's why we did the flowers, is what you wanted to do, because I've seen in which, like my dad, I tell him, this is used for emails. I use this for emails all the time. Like, it revolutionized my life as emails. Like, he immediately heard it's useless.
Yeah, it's not for me.
Emails. And I'm telling you, this is something that can be used by anyone. Like, this is something that theoretically my dad could use because it made ChatGPT a little bit more accessible, a little bit more of a user experience. All right. Hopefully
Awesome.
people catch that, and hopefully some developers go out and build some products off of it, because I'm hoping y'all build a world for my parents. My parents will still be here, shout out to them, for at least the next year or two. Please make some internet stuff. I would hate for my dad to go out as Chat GPT is useless, AI is useless. Like, come on, y'all. There's a large portion of the population who thinks that.
True.
Can we build a more accessible world, a more accessible internet? Can we build more accessible AI? I hope we could do that with generative UI.
Those were good last words. So thanks, Shawn. Thanks a lot for being my guest today. It was a pleasure having you on the show. Thanks, everybody who join us live, who ask questions, leave comments. I always say a big part of the show is the guest, but I feel like it's even nicer when we have people interacting and not just my big mouth, like sharing things or comments. It's nice when we have external people. So continue to join us live, to ask questions, to
And shout out to
comment.
Nick and Chris for participating and engaging. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks a lot for joining. Thanks for the people who's going to watch the recording too, because there's the recording. As I said before, if you have any questions about C1, I'm not the right person to answer them, but Shawn is. So there's a Discord server there. Please go there, ask any question. If you ask and comment, I'll share them with Shawn to be sure everything is going to be answered. And on that note, I wish everyone a good rest of the day, rest of the week, and see you in 2 weeks for the next episode of the DevRel Show. Bye, everyone.